so excited. We're so excited. We're so excited. It's Jemima
and Alyssa.
Hi. So yeah, we're gonna talk about a topic that is kind of close
To
our heart. But before we start, I wonder if Alyssa can give her fun facts. So this is for you also guys to know a little more about Alyssa.
Oh man. So yeah, a fun fact about me is that I have been playing volleyball for 18 years, almost.
What?
I've been playing since I was very young.
She's really good. I'm not kidding though, but she
And it's my favorite thing to do in my spare time. Well, one of my favorite things.
Yeah, as everybody mentioned it, she gives a mean serve.
A mean serve.
A mean serve, which was
yeah.
So for today's topic, it's something that's really close, as I mentioned, close to my heart.
Yeah.
And of course, Alyssa.
Yeah.
It's how you fell in love with Jesus. Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, because currently right now I feel I'm in such a high, when you fall in love, you have this all flowery feeling, right?
Yeah.
Everything in the world is so good. Well, everything in the world is so good.
It's happy and sparkly,
Yeah.
and it's you're on top of the world, on cloud 9, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all bouncy and everything.
Yeah.
So right now I feel that way, and I always discuss this with Alyssa. So I wonder, Alyssa, so how did you fall in love with God?
I have been a Christian since I was 7. But as a 7-year-old, you don't really understand or fully grasp God. And even as a 26-year-old, I still don't fully grasp God because he's just so big. But I grew up in a Christian home, and I was always in church, always in Awanas, always in Sunday school. And I feel like that background helped me have a firm foundation and understanding of God as a person, God as a being, his characteristics and really just all these different things about him. But honestly, it wasn't until I was in high school when it was a really delicate and tough time for me, and I was battling an eating disorder. I was in dysfunctional relationships, and I was just unhappy with myself. I didn't love who I was. I didn't accept all of who I was, and I was just struggling with just this idea of love and of God. And I remember it was one night that I was just at home, and I was just in my room and just thinking about just all my struggles, right, and trying to find love for myself. And I was just crying out to God, how can you love me? Are you still here, and do you still want me? I'm doing all these bad things, and I don't feel good about myself. And I just had this sense of peace come over me, and just this reminder of Psalm 139, which talks about just how much God loves us and how much he knows about us, and just how in tune he is with what we need and stuff. And the specific verse is verse 13, and it says, "You made all the delicate inner parts of my body and knit me together in my mother's womb. Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous. How well I know it." And I was just remembering that when I was in this horrible state, and I was just God, wait, you love me even when I'm doing all this stuff. Mm-hmm. You love me even if I don't love myself.
Right.
And I was just that was just unfathomable to me, because I was just how can, I never felt that unconditional love from the most important people in my life. My father as well, my earthly father. I was just I didn't get that love that I thought I needed, but God was just right there next to me, and he said, "Alyssa, I love you regardless. I love you so much. I knit you together in your mother's womb."
Yeah.
And that was just when I was really just let him into my life and accepted that love, and it's still a struggle, on a day-to-day basis,
right.
Still struggling with some of those issues, but I always look back to that time in my life, and I'm just God never let me go. He never left my side. He was always there, just reminding me of how beautiful I am, and how much he loves me, and how much he has a plan for me. And that's when I fell in love with that. I mean, who
Right.
can't fall in love with that?
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, I totally understand that because, I mean, I have that kind of high right now,
Yeah.
which I was like, you notice it,
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
was like, it's all about God. I don't even understand that. I mean, like, I grew up also in a Christian family. Like, I'm
Yeah.
so blessed that my parents, they're like strongly committed for my faith and everything. They were like, I remember when I was a kid, we have to wake up early in the morning around like, we have to be at church at 6 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, because of that, I feel like I took it for granted, I guess. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, because you think, like, you think, like, oh yeah, I was blessed enough, and then you don't really seek it more, because I think it's, like, well, for me, it became more like a routine, like, oh yeah, I just
Yeah.
go to church every Sunday, I know, until a couple of months ago, I guess. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I have to be very honest,
Yeah.
because, I mean, this is the first time that I really, like, oh God, it's you! Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, this is so high.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I know all the stories, like, oh yeah, God has
Right,
plans for
right.
you. God has all these good things. He loves you no matter what.
Right.
But I did not really understand it until recently, you know,
Right.
until I realized, oh yeah, He does.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, when you feel like you lost everything, and then
And I feel like it's different from, like, growing up, there's, like, that religion aspect, but what you're talking about, what we're talking about is that it's, like, that relationship
Yes.
that we build with God, or that He builds with us. It's different,
yeah.
and that's what I think you're going to
Yeah, that's true. Because yeah, when you fall in love, you
Mhm.
fell in love. It's not only about that one specific moment, but it's also about the relationship goes
Yeah.
after that, right?
Yeah.
It's
It's something that you can't get from humans
Yeah.
or from anything on this earth. Like, it's a higher love, right?
Yes.
It's a more expansive love. It reaches over everything.
Right.
It crosses all boundaries, and it's just, yeah, like, I think it's amazing to see you, like, when you're so close to God, it's like you're up on this mountaintop,
Mhm.
you just feel so close to Him, and your relationship is just jiving, you guys are, like, talking,
yeah.
and, I mean, that's amazing. That's such a great feeling to have.
Right.
In order to have a relationship, in order to be in love with somebody, like, you have to have trust, right?
Exactly.
Like, I'm not gonna fall in love with somebody if I don't trust them. And I feel like that's with God too, is that when you are going through a tough time and you may not feel close to God, or you may be, like, tempted to not read as much because you're nervous, or you're anxious, or you're scared, or you're worried, or something like that. Like, even during that time, like, I think it's so important. You have to maintain that trust. You have to trust that God is still walking with you, that God is still, like, right beside you. And you also have to remember that even if you're not in a high situation right now, like, remember back to when you were, and like, still have hope that, and trust that that can happen again, and to, like, not just give up, like, oh, I was happy the other day and, like, now I'm not today, and then just, like, walk away. No, like, you were happy once, you can be happy again. Or, like, you were closer to God once, like, you can be closer to Him again. And it just takes work and dedication, and that's what I would say.
Yeah, just like, earthly relationship.
Yeah.
It's a two-way street,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah.
like, you cannot expect that it's only God to do all the work.
Right. God is always pursuing us.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we also have to pursue Him.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, like, that's what He wants from us.
In order to keep that closeness, to try to maintain that high or that mountain, is like, you have to be in the Word. Like, you have to continue to invest in the relationship. And the way that we invest with God and in that relationship with God is by reading His Word.
Right.
Because this is His truth. This is exactly who He is. This is His character. And, like, if we are in the Word and just continually praying and, like, reaching out to Him, like, I feel like that's a way you can continue to maintain the relationship. But I feel like even if you want that, I feel like we're not always going to have that high, right?
Right,
Because
yeah.
that's what we talked about earlier. It's just
Yeah.
like, it's not always going to be there, and I don't think it's always meant to be. Like, sometimes when you're on that mountaintop, it's like you're up there and are
one-on-one.
you're one-on-one with God, and you're really close, and He's like teaching all this stuff. But when you come back down into the valley, like the whole point of that is to share that truth with other people, right? And so that's not a bad thing. Like that's still a closeness with God. It's just in a different form.
Right. So, where you can share His love towards others. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can also see Him working in those relationships that you have with other people.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I always feel like when you're in love, it feels like you bring all those energy, all that high again, all that happiness, and people can see it.
Oh yeah.
Which I love about it.
Definitely.
I don't say that I am fully transformed or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, go to your words, praise you and worship you, and then listen to sermons and everything, and then you feel all that joy, and then you feel like, oh my gosh, this is so high. Yeah. I'm gonna repeat this over and over again because that's how you feel when you're in love, right?
How you can explain it.
Yeah. I mean, when you're in love, everybody can feel that high too. Right?
Yeah. They can see it in your actions and the way you respond to other people, the way you carry yourself, right? And it's just, if you know you're loved and you're in a good relationship with God, like, it's gonna show on your face and on the way that you act towards people. So that's an amazing I don't know, that's an amazing experience, right?
I know that is. And that's what we can tell you guys about how we experience His love. It starts with loving God, and then you want to know more in God, because I feel like when you fall in love, it's fun and everything, but to be always in love, it's not always easy.
It takes work.
It takes work.
And that's what some Christians even struggle with, they think I accepted God when I was a kid, why aren't I getting all my prayers answered, or why aren't I happier and all this stuff. It's just in any relationship, you have to work at it, and you have to try to maintain it, and that's through prayer and through silent time, or solitude with God and reading the Word. So
I mean, I thought when I was being Christian, I was gonna be problem free. Nope.
That's not true.
That's not true. We always face every problem every day. But when you walk with someone that you're in love with, it seems like it's all good. It's okay. It's fine. I'm gonna be okay. So is there anything else you want to mention, Melissa, for our beautiful ladies out there, our beautiful souls?
I think the only thing that I would encourage you guys to do is just ask yourself the same question, what is it about God that you really love, and praise Him for those characteristics, and don't give up if you feel like He hasn't answered a prayer, or you haven't got exactly what you wanted at that time, or you feel distant from Him. Just like anything else, it's anything worth having isn't going to be easy. You have to work towards it, and I encourage you to do that. Don't give up.
Yay, guys! Ladies, I mean. Okay, thank you so much. I hope you are all blessed. And Alyssa, thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me.
Ooh, of course, my pleasure. Because she always encouraged me. So
Talk soon. Bye.
Toodles.
I never knew a love like this before. The kind of